Across Ghana, people are seeking out a different kind of justice, not in a courtroom, but on reality shows broadcast live on the radio and YouTube. The hosts of these shows play judge and jury as they adjudicate cases live on air.
Case number 2.
The justice on offer is loud, emotional, and often theatrical. But behind the spectacle are stories of real pain. Courtroom talk shows have been around for a while in Ghana, but recently their popularity has exploded. One of the fastest rising stars is the host of the Sompa Nkomo show, Oheneni Adazoa. Just 2 years in, her show already has millions of views.
Sompa Nkomo is a social program. We deal with family issues, marital issues, and issues that involve vulnerable people, such as divorcees and widows. We sit and discuss issues like they do in a court to find solutions. I see this as a way to help society.
The issues that are brought there are day-to-day issues that people encounter. There is a lot of entertainment element where they will be ringing bells, they will be playing some songs. People like the unusualness, people like the entertainment element, people like the sensationalism, and that is what is making it more attractive.
There's a lot of things that mimic the regular courts, from the way that there's an accused, there's a defendant, there are witnesses, there's hundreds of thousands of people who are tuning into these shows every single day. It's lighthearted, it's funny, even with very serious issues, and that's what sort of makes it compelling.
For many who go on these shows, there's a desire to be seen and heard, but also the promise of some kind of action. Ghana's justice system is out of reach for many citizens. Legal fees are unaffordable. Court cases can drag on for years. A survey in 2024 found that 97% of Ghanaians believe judges and magistrates are corrupt. As flawed as they can be, these shows offer something the courts often don't: visibility, speed, and resolution. Those who win their case can receive small but meaningful relief: food, clothing, or a modest amount of cash. And sometimes the hosts help their guests crowdfund support from the audience.
Increasingly, people are losing tracks in our institutions that are supposed to provide justice. And therefore, when they have a platform where they see something that ought to be taking place in court, playing out right in front of them, in a more informal manner, in a way that they can relate to, in a language that they can relate to, certainly it would make it more attractive, because justice is not just about you delivering justice, it should be seen to be done. They are serving a certain sector of our country that is shut out of the formal judicial system.
Most of the people who show up on the show mention that they've been to these places, they've been to legal aid, and they haven't received anything.
Police station. Court, soon to free me fee, or soon. Court, yeah, some troca.
Whereas if you went on a show and you have a compelling story, the audience are in your favor, you get your justice today. Even the first day you show up, you're not going to go empty-handed. The host is going to make sure that you receive a bit of something.
What chairman to mammy, no, I program the Obaso amount to ma. What mammy Sikata to one says, my lord, what's time I made mammy see from Kodidi?
That's something for someone who just needs to be comforted.
There's a perception, say justice delay, justice deny.
When people come to us, they get the result they were looking for. For instance, the majority of people that come to us have issues about men who don't look after their children. We call the man to speak to him, and if after that he begins to look after the child, has that not brought peace?
Ghana's media space exploded after it was privatized in the 1990s. From a handful of state-owned broadcasters, the country's population of 35 million now has more than 500 radio stations and 175 TV channels. Regulating so many outlets has proven a challenge. Courtroom-style shows frequently cross ethical and legal lines. One episode of Sompa Nkomo revealed the identity of a young woman who was allegedly raped, a clear violation of Ghana's criminal code. We've chosen to blur her face, though the original broadcast did not. George Sarpong is the executive secretary of Ghana's main media regulator. We asked him what he was doing to address concerns about this kind of exploitative content.
Considerable part of the content of these courtroom shows violate the established standards. We are aware that not many of them are trained presenters. There are still concerns about vulgarity, obscenity, and particularly the treatment of minors.
So you don't know now who's sitting away out there to Adongo? Who's sitting away out there to Adongo?
The law does not have provisions on what graduated sanctions should be available to the Commission in seeking to enforce the standards. So when you see these things happen within the media, you are able to advise, you are able to denounce, but when it comes to enforcement, there's a lacuna in the law.
There have been instances where you listen to some of the parties that come on, and you could clearly see that those parties need help. And then the language, the choice of words they use in describing these matters is so insensitive.
Now the first when you feelings feeling.
It's about sexual assault. It's about rape. These are criminal matters that cannot be resolved on such a show.
Yes, people tell me all the time, Oheneni, you shouldn't have said this. It was too explicit. You should have been more sensitive. Sometimes I take the advice, and other times I disregard it. This is my style. It contributes to making the show more lively, and people enjoy it. In this profession, no one's perfect. People will always have something to say about whatever you do.
Ghana's media regulator says it relies on public complaints to monitor content on social issues, and few viewers have taken issue with the inflammatory style of courtroom shows. On social media, the hosts are praised for doing what the justice system has not: listening, acting, and getting results. And that's exactly how the presenters of these shows describe it too, that they are delivering a public service.
Sometimes, people come to my office and cry so profusely while telling me their stories that I wonder how they'll be able to speak on air. So I crack jokes and they start laughing, and then you'll see that they begin to open up and tell their entire story. We speak with people, sometimes we help them find jobs, and with every little action, we're able to help.
When I talk to people about the problems in the media, the things that worry them that they think we need to address is political content, polarization, and stuff like that. These programs, they think it's excellent drama, they're enjoying listening to them.
Every radio station is mimicking these shows. It's such a big thing, and so many people support it. So many people are grateful for what it brings. We might sit here and say that there's a professionalism issue, but there's a bigger issue with like the audience they garner, and it tells you that there's a place for them in the system.
Thank you for watching. Hit that like button and leave us a comment to let us know what you thought about anything we covered this week. And don't forget to follow us on social media. The links are in the description, and you can also subscribe to our newsletter for updates from the show.